Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I started this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, make sure you click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to join the, I already said that. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion, you can join me most weekdays when I go live at about 4 p.m. Central Time, except for sometimes like today when I have a bunch of technical difficulties and I start going live almost an hour later. But you can join me on my live streams, or outside of the live streams, you can consider joining the Discord I created. There's a link for that down in the description below. Also down in the description below, there is a link to a Pinterest board. A lot of times people ask me what are the things that I'm eating to lose weight, and that Pinterest board is a great place to find some examples of meals that my family and I enjoy. Today is day 732 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. Yesterday was the 2-year anniversary of starting this whole thing. I have gone from 519.8 pounds down to 290 pounds. So right around a 230 pound weight loss in those 2 years. I'm very excited about the next year and using all of the information that I've learned over the course of the past 2 years to really get myself down to my goal weight and then live my life at a healthy weight forever. So if anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you have any on-scale victories, it is weigh-in Wednesday. I'm not going to be weighing in today because I weighed in yesterday on my 2-year anniversary. But if anybody has any on-scale victories, I'd love to hear those as well. How are you doing with your diet? Are you succeeding with your diet? If you are succeeding, what are you doing that helps you to succeed? Let us know, because so many people are struggling. And for those of you that are struggling, what is causing your struggles, and for me, I feel like one of the very important things is what are the things you're going to do that is going to make staying on your diet easier than the alternative. Let's go ahead and switch over to the main screen here. A few people checking in. Queen Shailene, Pretty Girl's mom checking in. I know there was a bunch of people on here before when I was trying to go live. This is my 3rd attempt at going live today. I'm hoping it's working okay. It seems to be working a little bit better on my end, but maybe it's slowly losing progress here. We'll see. But Queen says that you're struggling a bit. Weekends are your downfalls. Yeah, weekends tend to be when I gain weight throughout my week-long cycle. And a big part of it is being around food more and having more temptations and then eating more food as a result of being at home on the weekends. What I have found with my diet is that as long as I'm eating food that is left of the red line, less than 600 calories per pound, I am not going to really feel guilty about it. The foods that I eat, I know that over time it's going to help me get to my goal weight. And so if right now I have to eat foods that are left of that red line and eat more of them, like potatoes. This morning, I had a couple potatoes just extra because I was hungry, and I'm never going to feel guilty about the weight that those potatoes add to me in the, while I eat them, because I know that my body is going to process it, and there's really no additional fat that I have to worry about. And I think that that's one of the biggest things that we have to pay attention to when we're trying to lose weight, is not consuming additional fat. Courtney's asking, did I have a good day? I did have a good day. It was a very busy day. I hope all of you guys had a wonderful day. It was a very busy day, and then I got frustrated by trying to get this going. But yes, it was a busy day today. Pretty Girl's mom says you had a birthday lunch out today, had black beans, Mexican rice, and rajas, steamed veggies. And those are the steamed veggies. That's what that means. Okay. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. I hope it was a good lunch. Is it your birthday, I guess? So happy birthday if it is your birthday. You might have said something about that before, but you're happy with your choices. Yeah. And there's moments where you're going to have those options to eat those things, and if you do choose to eat things that have oil in them or maybe more calorie dense, again, because of the volume of food that I eat, I'm not really worried about overeating those processed foods. And also, I'm going to be replacing them with healthy foods again, and it won't be as big of an impact to my diet. I think what has happened to me in the past was that I'd be on a diet and then I'd go out to eat and I'd have a celebratory meal, and that celebratory meal would turn into a huge meal that's far different than what my diet was previously. And many times it would take me till at least the next day to even consider restarting my diet. So then I would spend the whole rest of the day binging on high calorie food items. And with this diet now, when, this past year where I lost the 30 pounds, there were many times where I went out to eat and I was still able to lose the 30 pounds over the year. It did slow my weight loss because I was eating those processed foods, but it was not detrimental to my diet like it had been in so many previous diets. When I would have those cheat meals, it would turn into cheat weeks and it would just fall apart. But I feel like with this diet, because you aren't going back to a restrictive volume of food, that it's easier to get back into this diet. In the past, when I would be on these calorie restrictive diets, you'd have such a small volume of food in your stomach that when you did eat a large volume of food, that your body just kept craving it and craving it. So it was very difficult to get back into the low volume, low calorie diet again. And so that's what I believe is a huge advantage to this diet, is that you don't have to stop eating. When you have a bad meal, you don't have to skip your next meal or stop eating. Just go back to that really low calorie dense foods. And maybe, if you went with really high calorie foods, maybe try to go with some really, really low calorie foods like broccoli and cauliflower and things like that. Let's see. It was okay at the end of October. Okay. And so the weekends are difficult for everybody. I feel like, or for many people, not everybody, but many people, especially somebody like me who works kind of a regular schedule for 5 days, and then you go home and your schedule is completely different and your activity is completely different. Pretty Girl's asking, where is Miss Carrie? She might not even know that I am live right now. I could send her a message and say that people are asking for her. So there you go. I'll let her know that people were wanting to know where she was. But I was talking to her while I was having these technical difficulties, and I had said that I probably would not try to go live after it failed the second time there. But then it seemed to be working as good now as it was before a couple days ago. And now there she is. Hello, Carrie. I hope everything's going great at home. We're just talking about the weekend and how difficult the weekend can be. I I've been doing great for the past 63 days or so. And so I like to use that as motivators to get me through the weekends, to make sure that I don't eat anything off diet. When I leave for home on Friday afternoon, I generally weigh less than when I get back to work on Monday, or back to here and weigh myself on Monday. And I don't let it bug me, because as long as my diet was compliant, then I'm not going to be upset about what that scale says, because I know that I have a kind of a trend that happens. We all have kind of a daily trend that happens with our weight, and then we also have a weekly trend that happens with our weight, and maybe even some of us have a monthly trend with our weight. So it's, for me, I know that I have that trend where on Friday I weigh less than when I do on Monday. But I also know that a lot of times on Friday I weigh less than I did the previous Friday, or the next Friday I will weigh less than I do this Friday, as well as that Monday. So when I compare a 3-day window, I may see an upswing, but when I look at the 7-day picture, I see a downward trend, and then month long, I see even a better trend than that. Carrie says that she's making some cream of celery soup because you have way too much celery. Pretty Girl's mom says, who's getting married? Amish wedding tradition with the celery, or on the celery? I've not heard about an Amish tradition with celery, but have we had the celery soup before? I feel like we may have, but we have not had it. Carrie's saying that we've not had it before. She hopes it's tasty. Celery is another one of those I hate that foods. When I would eat meals before starting this diet, there were many foods that I would turn down the meal because that item was in the meal. Or I wouldn't turn it down necessarily, but I would eat around it, or I wouldn't be happy. And celery is definitely one of those foods that I never really liked. And now I do enjoy it in a lot of the foods that we eat, and I have a better appreciation for the taste of it. And that is really just been a product of me being open to these new flavors and realizing that my taste buds have the ability to change. I feel like many of us get trapped in this mindset that we don't like a food, and then we don't end up liking that food forever. Or since we decided we didn't like that food when we were young, then we don't ever give that food a chance in the future. And it may be the case that that food might be important, or when you're eating this type of diet, eating a variety of foods is important. So there may be nutrients that you get from that food. And for me, One example I give a lot of times is cucumber. I would eat pickles all of the time, or I loved pickles, but I never liked having cucumber on any type of sandwich or any, just like to dip or anything. And now cucumber is one of the things that we have in our salads that I enjoy the most. Um, I also was very picky about rice. I never really liked to eat rice. And when we would go to like a Mexican restaurant and I would order a meal and it had rice and beans, a lot of times I would ask for just beans and no rice. And that was a product of just when I was a little kid, I decided I didn't like rice. And so I never uh, gave it a chance. And now, when I look at a week's worth of meals, I realize that I eat more rice in a week than I probably ate in the previous decade or even my whole life prior to starting this, and I enjoy it. So, um, you have to be open minded to trying these new foods and then also trying foods that you may have a preconceived notion as to what you if you're going to like it or not. And with those foods that you have that preconceived notion, and even with some of the foods that you've just avoided for a long time, you should maybe also consider not overdoing it with them when you start. Uh, just try them a little bit and then give your body a chance to uh, react to it, to realize that there's nutrients in it that you need, because then it might send that signal to your brain that the next time you're, faced with that option, to maybe choose that option because it satisfied a need that your body had. Um, and so, uh, the just the other part of eating it slowly too is that, um, we have this gut microbiome that has all kinds of different bacteria. And if it's a food that you've been avoiding and it's a hard food to digest, you might not have the gut bacteria to process that food as well as somebody who eats a large amount of it. So by eating a small amount of it, you start to strengthen that that microbiome bacteria, I guess. Uh, and then you could end up being able to eat more of it as you go on. Saratoga says that they just pressure cook some cabbage, and you're letting it cool off. So you'll let us know how it is. Plant Powered Peddler told Carrie to let us know how the soup turns out. Yes, I will definitely let you know how it goes. I think I did have this on, and I didn't really even go over food. Let me see if I can get this to work, and we can go over the food that I've had for the last couple days, I guess, because yesterday it didn't work at all. And let me see. I'll go look at that, and then we'll look at a couple other things. Queen. So is it Queen Shailene or is it Shalane? Queen Shalane? You made whole wheat spaghetti with pumpkin chipotle sauce, mushrooms, onions, and soy curls for dinner. That does sound really good. I'm not a huge fan of soy curls, but in moderation, I think that they're okay in a dish. We had a couple meals with soy curls. We had one dish that was like there was a traveling vegan food truck that was like these fries with soy curls, which is definitely not on my diet now. but it was really overpowering with the soy curls. Carrie had made something recently with soy curls that was better, but I can't remember what it is. Rick, thank you for the congratulations. And then Carrie said that we have green cabbage with no plans as to what to make with it. And then she says, oh, pumpkin chipotle, her mind is blown. So is it Lane? I'm going to say Lane. Okay. Your son now thinks you're a short order cook and you have to make him a second batch of the pumpkin chipotle sauce. See, I knew that once I turned this thing on, it was going to screw up my video. I did try to pull this up, but I forgot about, so this was dinner, from Monday night that I really enjoyed. I can't remember the name of it, but I talked about it a little bit yesterday. And then so Carrie was saying the soy curl thing was fajitas with soy curls. Yeah. But I really enjoyed this soup that we had. I believe there was cabbage in this soup that we had on Monday night. And then yesterday morning, we had a little bit of we didn't have the steel cut oats that we normally have. So Carrie used a lot of oat groats. And then when that didn't really work, we added some rolled oats to it. So the breakfast oatmeal was something interesting yesterday. I did take a photo. This is dinner last night, which mega veggie chili. I got to wait for my thing to catch up before I talk about it. Now, there you go. There's mega veggie chili for dinner last night. And then it was leftovers for lunch today. But I'm going to turn this off because it is not helping anything and probably screwed up everything. So let me see if this will get caught up and it works better. So, okay. So yeah, that was the Well Your World Cull Cannon soup is what she thought it was called. Yeah, it was the Well Your World soup. And I really liked that soup. There was, Carrie made the soup and I tried it. And then she was like, oh, it said that, you could put pepper on it. And so I put a little bit of pepper on it and it was amazing with a little bit of pepper on it. So I did like that a lot. Sarasota, Florida says you just started the last couple days eating bananas with the peel, except the ends, and it's delicious. You say yum, huh? That is something I have not heard of, but if you are finding that you enjoy that, that's it's something that it's probably adding volume to your diet with lower calories, and it's making your food tougher to digest. So I would say it probably would benefit in weight loss. I'd like to know how it works out for you in the long run, because like you said, you just started doing it. So let me know how it goes. Queen Lane says that you made the polenta with mushrooms and white beans, and it was great. That's awesome that you tried that. We really have been enjoying that meal. It's one of the meals I'm very happy that we have found, and I'm always excited to try it. Even when Carrie says I screwed up this or I screwed up that or we're missing this ingredient, it still, I think, tastes amazing. Just because of probably because of the nutritional yeast or the nooch in the polenta, and then the balsamic vinegar as well. Those are two pretty powerful tastes in that food, and I feel like they go together really well. Queen says you've heard of making pulled pork or ribs from banana peels, but you're too chicken to try that. Yeah, I've seen some different things on YouTube with people using banana peels for certain things. And Sarasota said that they have so many nutrients in the peels themselves. Yeah, there's a lot of nutrients in the skin of things and the peels, like that's why people use those things for composting, because they are so rich in nutrients. And I imagine probably lots of antioxidants, but that's kind of a guess just based off of what I feel like I've learned. That's a lot of what the skin of the foods are good for. Yeah, let's see. The food thing didn't really work, and it screwed up my system a little bit again. So I am going to have to figure out a better way for me to share my food with you guys. I'm not sure what I can do to make it easier, but it is frustrating that it kind of screws up the whole system here. I think I'm going to get out of here today because I got started so late and everything got screwed up. But I didn't have a weigh-in today, so I didn't have as exciting of a Wednesday as I normally have. I'm sorry about that. But I will be back live tomorrow and I believe Friday as well. If anybody has any... Rick says to just print them out and show them on the screen. Well, I could just hold my phone up and show them on the screen that way. But I want it to be a little bit of, make it look a little bit like I figured out some sort of technology to do it. Queen says, thanks for the inspiration. No, thank you for the support and kind of checking in and letting me know and asking questions. I love it when people stop by and ask questions. And if you are, if you're able to watch live, I really love that. But even if you can't watch this live and you're watching it after the fact, if you have any questions, ask them below. It kind of helps give me ideas of things to talk about. And at some point, I keep feeling like I should do a thing where I go through and respond to questions that are in the comments, but or a video responding to questions. So if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them below. If you have not subscribed to the channel, get subscribed to the channel. If you've not clicked on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos, click on the bell icon. If you haven't clicked the thumbs up, click the thumbs up as well so that YouTube will recommend my videos to other people who may be trying to find a way to get some weight off and to start reaching and achieving their goals of attaining a healthy life. And if you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's nothing coming up on... There's nothing coming up this weekend or this week or next week that's more important than your health or your overall well-being. If you're going to start a diet after Thanksgiving or after the holidays, when the holidays come up again next year, are you going to go off your diet again and then just wreck all the progress you've made? Or are you going to stay on your diet through the next holiday season? So why not start this holiday season? Start right now. There's nothing more important than your health and your overall well-being. And if you're like me and you're at a point where you're 500 pounds, you're grossly overweight. If I wouldn't have changed my life, I was right on the edge of having some major health complications. And so, don't keep putting yourself in that position where you're in danger of suffering from all these things that are killing people. So get started right now, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.